What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you're watching TWA Motorsports, and in today's video we're going to continue some progress on the MBS truck. So look, we got the turbo on in the last video, got all the hot side piping on. Yeah, I feel like we got a few things accomplished anyway. So in this video we're going to move on. I bought a new power steering cooler, and I will tell you guys that the fitment of this is kind of tight with the intercooler. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the intercooler out of play for now, and we're going to go ahead and get this old guy out of the way. But I want to show you something once I get the intercooler out. So let me get this out off camera, and I think that's where we're going to start. I'm going to try to get all the suspension tightened up and torqued down. Well, when I say suspension, the steering rack, the I guess it'd be the U-joint that goes from the actual steering column down to the rack itself, and all the lines like tied up and ready to rock. So that is the plan here. Let's see how far we can get. I zip tied them kind of out of the way for now, but now that I've got everything installed, I think I'm going to need down here, I can go ahead and tie this portion up. So this is what I wanted to show you. This guy right here, you cannot put a bolt in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie it. I'm just going to stick a zip tie and a piece of foam on the front of this to hold this guy kind of up into place. But yeah, there is no way that's going to happen. You can see these lines kind of snake through to the back here. That's what these two guys are. And you got one that runs up to the back side of the pump, and it's just got a clip fitting. I'm going to go ahead and take that off and then let everything drip. I'm sure it will. Let me put a towel under that. And the other one is down here. That one goes into the pump. So this is just a cooler, and look, mine wasn't leaking, but some of the joints you can see, like this guy here, I guess it is technically leaking. It's not terrible, but I thought, you know what, let's just replace this while we're in here. That way we don't have any issues. The other thing I would like to do is I'm probably gonna paint some of this to make it look a little nicer, and I'll probably just do that with some POR 15, to be honest with you, since it's nasty weather outside. So I'm gonna take these 10 millimeters back out that hold this whole bar in place. We've already got the bar removed on the back, but I don't have it removed. Like, I don't have anything up top, so I can just kind of scuff it up in here and paint some POR 15, or I might even use the stuff I used on the frame, because POR 15 is a little on the shiny side. I made a little bit of a mess. Not too bad. Actually, more came out of this line here. So let's take a look at what we've got to replace it with. I found another GM one. Now, there's a lot of aftermarket companies out there. I'm sure they're probably okay. I'm pretty particular about stuff, guys. I not only bought the cooler, but I bought the other line. So there's a line that comes out of the, I guess it's to be the pressure side of the pump, and we're gonna run that down to the new rack. So I decided to get that. That's from GM as well. So both these pieces are GM. I think this one is discontinued. So the cooler, there's a ton of aftermarket out there. I will show you this thing though that's kind of cool. I cut this factory zip tie, but these guys here, they come with the clip that holds them, so you can just shove those on, pull the clip off, and you're done. That's kind of cool, because the old one didn't have that, or at least I don't think. The other thing I bought was, see how this one is put together with that little short stubby piece? That I bought that piece as well from GM. That's this guy, and this is a low pressure side, so it can be a fitting like that. But yeah, I probably went a little overboard with this, but it comes with new seals, which is a common leak point. So yeah, look, I'm crazy, I know. Now I got this thing in here. I went ahead and put this one we can't use, and I put the one on the top just to get it stationary and to slide this on. So now I'm gonna go ahead, the one that comes from the top, okay, so this technically, I don't think it matters, but this, I think that line's a little longer to reach down to the rack. This line here, which is this one coming up top, is the one that plugs onto the pump. This guy is gonna go down with our new piece and hook on the rack itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and push that one on, and then hopefully have enough room to break the other line loose. I maybe should go ahead and break this line loose. They're very close together. They terminate at the same spot. I don't know if you guys can see that there. You can see they're side by side. So getting this one off was kind of a fight. Let's see if we can get it on there and then possibly sneak the other one out. Got that other line out, 3/4 on one side, and I think it was 5/8 on the actual line size. That's the old line there. Now the cool thing about this is GM makes it 2 different sizes, so you can't screw this up and put it in wrong. So the natural bend wants to go down. Okay, so I'm gonna try to line it up that way, in that manner. See how this kind of has a natural bend to it? That's got to turn and reach down to that rack. So try to put that natural bend, that way you're not fighting it when you're trying to go into the rack. Man, this is looking good. Went ahead and got that tightened up. It actually is a different size. I had to use a 16mm, whereas before it was a 5/8. I don't know, it threaded in, but I'm talking about the outer here. Still 3/4 to hold that. I don't know, they may have made some changes, but now we can go directly into the rack. You can see the openings right there in the rack. So I've got to put our fitting on that came in the package right there. But this guy has a fitting already on it. So we just need to loop it up and get it installed. And I don't remember what goes top and bottom, but I will tell you that they're different sizes. I'm pretty sure this one, because of the angle, will go in the bottom. It's gonna be pretty tight to put it in the top, but we will just have to see. I also may have to get down there or lift the truck up and pull the rack forward. I've got the rack just loose in there right now, and I think I need to probably put a little more on that in order to, you know, pull it a little closer. That actually worked pretty well. I think I've got the lines routed the way they're supposed to go. I got the little stubby piece in there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this cap off. Well, I said I was. Maybe I should have pulled that off before I put it in. Now all we gotta do is push that line on and we're finished. I'll give you some torque specs. I just snugged this up, the rack up against the cross member up here, so I don't exactly know, but I'll look those torque specs up and give them to you. I did go ahead and snug all the lines down though. So honestly, we could, once I put this line on, go ahead and put some power steering fluid in it and let it just be kind of dripping down. We're still gonna have to bleed it, but we could go ahead and put fluid in. Next thing I've done is I slid our like U-joint slash arm or steering shaft, I guess, collapsible piece, that section in there, you can barely see it. I went ahead and slid it on the rack, and I'm just gonna put a little thread locker on this bottom bolt before we snug it down. I think it goes to like 37 foot-pounds. It's not crazy tight, but definitely put some thread locker on that. We'll get it lined up with the top one and get the locking bolt back in it as well. One of the things I'd like to do while we got, you know, room to do it, I went ahead and hooked up the shaft. I tightened it down just super snug. Like I said, I think it's around 37. So I double checked the inside to make sure that my steering wheel didn't move, and it locks, so it didn't. And so we got everything lined up, everything tightened up on the power steering pump, done. We'll get to this when we get to the intercooler, but like I said, I'm gonna use something different here. But anyway, I'm moving on to the power steering pump. So the pump itself, I put in new when I did the V8 swap on this truck, so it's good. But I did buy one of these guys, and I just think this looks so much nicer than the factory one. So I figured I would get my power steer. I've got a pump installer and slash remover. It's a specialty tool. I'll try to list all this stuff in the description down below, but I figured we'd take this time, since we have this awesome amount of room with no radiator and whatnot in, and we would see if we could possibly install this. I think we'll have ample room to do this. So let's go get the installer tool. It kind of cups around this and pulls this guy off as it pushes. So basically it pushes on the center and kind of pulls the pump off, or the actual gear off. So what's the benefit to this? Well, for one, it looks a lot better, but the second one is it allows you to get access to the pump bolts, which you don't have with a factory pulley, and mainly because it looks nicer. In order to do this, this is the tool I was talking about. So these two little rings sandwich around, and then it has this guy to keep it in place, and then this basically pulls it off. So we'll run this back, sandwich this around. There's a little lip in here that these little rings set in, like that, or actually the other way around, like that. And so in the process of doing this, you actually pull the pulley off. So gradually, this thing will walk the pump off, or the pulley off. You can see that I've started And I like to do this manually. I don't like using an impact on this, but you can also see what I'm talking about. See the pump bolts back there? So if you ever had to change a pump and didn't want to remove everything, it just makes your life a little easier. Now we've got the old one off. The next step is we're going to use this guy to thread in the middle, and we're going to pull the new one on. So it basically threads in. That's threaded on the center. That's how you pull. Use the puller to pull it, and the installer to install it. That looks pretty good. Just press that thing back on there. You just want to kind of make sure it lines up. First of all, doesn't have any wobble that I can see, and it lines up with the, obviously the belt here, or the opening, the ribs here, and the ribs up on the alternator. But definitely looks better, and like I said, it serves a couple purposes. Not only does it look better, but then you have access to your pump bolts. Actually, that one looks like it'd still be a pain to get to, but it's on. So I've done a couple things off camera, as you can see. Mainly I just took this bar off and painted it. Looks a lot better. I still got to go over it one more time, but I wanted to put it up in place because it's easy. Believe me, it's easier to paint than try to hold it or set it on something. And at this time of year, it's too cold to paint outside, so I'm kind of on borrowed time. But you can see I've got the AC condenser in, and so a couple things that you need to, I just wanted to tell you about before I kind of put things together. For one, I'm going to paint these bolts up here. This kind of all sandwiches together, but there's two little rubber inserts that go in the top. You can see that. I've got those installed. I'm going to paint those bolts though. I've got those sitting on the ground, just some 10 millimeters. But on the bottom of this thing, you have these guys. And so what these do is they slide in that channel. I don't know if you can see that cutaway, and they face that way to kind of protect the bottom of this thing from bouncing around. So I'm going to go ahead, put those in place, and get this thing setting on that, and probably just run those bolts in for now and kind of take them out and paint them. So there's going to be some more painting off camera, but once I do that, I think I can go grab the radiator over there and you know, eliminate a couple more boxes out of my mix here. So I still got to measure the radiator. I want to kind of put it in and make sure that everything's going to fit before I bite the bullet and buy a fan shroud, because the old fan shroud and the old 34-inch core radiator we're doing away with. This is a 28, so this is like the factory V6 style. And the reason I did that is because the 34 comes way out here. It makes you have to cut a lot more of the headlight bucket in order to route the intercooler piping, and I didn't want to do that. So that is why I chose to go with the smaller one. And we're not, like I said, we're not trying to set the world on fire with power. The other option is you could get a kind of under the Trick, that's who it is, Trick Turbo. They make an intercooler that kind of mounts up front and then goes underneath. But for this kind of intercooler that I've got, this guy here that goes in the front, we are going to have to cut holes here to get that routed inside. It's been a little bit since I worked on this, and we're going to discuss that here in a minute, but I need to get these torqued down. This is the rack itself. I don't know why that's going the other way. Oh, maybe that's right. Okay. 136 foot-pounds is what the rack goes to. Let's see if we can get, I've got an adjustable end wrench on the front side. That seems like a lot, but woo, that's a lot. There we go. So get both these bolts that go through the frame tightened down. And I'm going to tell you, I've already torqued the steering shaft, but I'm going to tell you what that is, and then we'll discuss why I've been waiting. The torque spec for like the pinch bolt shows 36 on one and 46 on the other. I just gave them both like 35. That's pretty tight. I put a little Loctite on them, but let's set this thing down. I want to show you a couple things and then tell you what our next step is. I recently bought a set of plug wires that I thought would fit this. Ended up using them on the GTO, if you guys have saw that video. I found these, and we're talking like, that's super close. I don't even know. I don't think it's touching, but man, you probably couldn't slide a piece of paper in between the two. So that's the tightest one. The rest of them are going to be fine. The front is good, the next one's good, and the very back one's obviously good. But Okay, so here's where I've been with this thing. I've been back and forth on this cheap on-3 turbo kit, and I know a lot of people make it work, and we've obviously adapted a few things. You know, I bought, for one, I upgraded to their new cast aluminum manifold. I upgraded to the stainless driver's side header, and I really wish I wouldn't have done all this at this point. I decided to go with I think it's MGM Fab front intercooler. So we were going to mount it here. I was going to go to a smaller, that's a 28-inch core radiator. And I've since reached out to a couple people, and Trick Turbo being one of them, and I have decided to do their intercooler. Now, for right now, I'm going to be upgrading to their intercooler and still trying to make the hot side work. I don't know once I get it in here if everything's going to fit. I went back and forth on just selling this and buying a Trick Turbo. I'm sick of trying to make stuff work. I should have just done that from the get-go. But we're here. I've got this stuff on already. We're going to see. I like the Trick Turbo one because it mounts in the center and it goes underneath. So for one, the transmission cooler is not going to work up here like I thought it was going to. I'm going to have to mount it back behind the engine or something. I want to use my 34-inch radiator. I want to use the stock fans if I can. I'm not in love with this setup. I know it would give me additional room, but I still I don't love it. And so I'm going to be probably swapping back. For one, I'm going to show you guys an unboxing video of the Trick Turbo setup. I think it's probably going to cool a lot better than that one anyway. It's got a bigger surface area. It's thicker. And like I said, I think the fitment is going to be a lot better with kind of the setup that I've got. So I on these 99 to 02 trucks, there's not a ton of room behind the grill. That probably would have worked. I would have had to drill here, cut all the headlight buckets up to route that through. I just thought, well, why not go through on the middle and use that? But anyway, that's where we're at. We've been really slow on progress on this. I've been working on other things. Obviously, the GTO had a video on the Trans Am recently, or I think I did, depending on when I post this video. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the build on the green truck. I know it's really stalled, and we got a few things done in this video. I've also been back and forth on putting that 6-liter in and pulling the 5.3 out. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much stuff going on. It's cold weather right now. It's like 7 degrees outside. The shop's like 45 right now. My heater works, but it's so cold that it's hard to keep up. But if you guys have been enjoying this stuff, please, like always, smash that thumbs up button. Guys, if you are not subscribed, go down, hit the subscribe. Of course, like always, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every time we drop a video on this. Anything else, stay tuned to see what we work on next.